The second coach this year has been fired. Dan Quinn is out of Atlanta. What do you think Atlanta's future is looking like?
I think that the next guy coming in is probably going to draft a quarterback. Even though Matt Ryan has some years left in him, I have a feeling that they're going to move on from him next year because I feel like they have a good enough offense to put up a lot of points. I mean, I guess that could be attributed to Matt Ryan, but I just feel like whenever a new GM comes in, he's probably going to be up to like a top five pick. Floating around a new quarterback or whatever is only going to be tempting to those guys. So I could see them moving on from Matt Ryan. If they don't move on from Matt Ryan, then he's going to be a stopgap quarterback until they find their guy. His age is showing, but he has been crushing it despite his bad defensive play, despite the coaching staff there. That's hard to tell. They're putting up points, and they're have a chance to win for most games. But I just feel like whenever a new regime comes in with an older quarterback who hasn't won much in the last couple of years since that Super Bowl, really, they're gonna go with their guy.
I mean, Matt Ryan's been doing it pretty much without Julio Jones this year. He's been hurt most of the year. So a lot of rumors are floating around about the Falcons kind of trying to trade him before the deadline and seeing what they can get to build up draft capital for the next coach. Do you think they would actually trade Matt Ryan before the deadline, or do you think they'd hang on to see who the coach is and see how he wants to move on?
I think they hang on until they see who the coach is. I don't see them making a splash trade like that, especially when no GM or head coach is in place, because maybe that's an attractive piece, or maybe that's like the owner wants to use that as an attractive piece. Like, hey, we still got a starting caliber quarterback for you to work with, for you to possibly trade to get picks. So I don't think they do that until they actually have a GM or coach in place to have some sort of vision that they have with the team. Because if they do it now, and it's gonna look like they do it now, and their backup quarterback comes in and shits the bed hard as fuck. The next guy coming in might be like not attracted to that position because he's just like, who can I work with if I don't get a quarterback this year? And I might not like any of the
The
guys coming out of
draft.
college. So I think they
Yeah.
don't do that until the next guy comes in and shows his vision of the team.
Yeah, and I mean, having Matt Ryan on the team, even with the new coach, I think it's going to be beneficial to have that sort of veteran there to teach the new guy, whoever comes in. Because I think Matt Ryan's kind of realizing, too, that his time in Atlanta is almost done, and he's going to have to take a role as kind of like a mentor, kind of like Fitzpatrick is doing down in Miami. It's really a matter of time before he's replaced. So long as he's willing to accept that, I think that's probably what Atlanta's future is looking like. Do you see Atlanta unloading other players for draft capital? Rumors are actually going around about Julio Jones possibly being traded.
If they do, I think that's absolutely absurd. Why would you get rid of a talent like that, even though you could probably get a lot for him? Because say you're picking a quarterback next year, you like Trevor Lawrence, you like Trey Lance, or Justin Fields, whoever's coming out next year, and you like that guy, and you got a top three pick, and you're going to pick your quarterback. Why not give your quarterback a chance to succeed and actually have one of the best receivers in the league, regardless of how old he is? He's still producing, he's still competing. I think trading him for picks, I wouldn't like to move. I mean, I could see some people justifying it, but I honestly wouldn't like to move because hey, he's just a talent you can't really get rid of.
Yeah, he is a big cap hit for the team, and I mean he is getting up there in age. He's been injured, so I think those might be the factors leading that. But yeah, and I mean Calvin Ridley's actually doing really good this year to kind of fill in for that role, but I think they just actually Russell Gage just got hurt, so they're starting to get thin at receiver. I mean that would be kind of the only reasons I would see them getting rid of Julio. What about other guys though on the team, or do you think they'll just stick with what they got right now?
Like I said, I think they stick with what they got for right now until that new guy comes in with whatever vision they have. Because if they make any moves now without their coach and GM in place, you don't know how. I mean, it might attract some people, but also might turn down a lot of people that if they saw some player on there that they thought they could work with, like say Julio, and then they get rid of him, they're like, okay, I'm not going to go there. They don't even have a number one threat or whatever the case is. So I don't think they do anything until they bring in their new guy. Or maybe, the owner's just like, fuck it, and that does it live and, gets rid of him.
Thank you for listening in to this clip of the Moose Bros podcast. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment below, and subscribe to this channel to see more clips just like this one. If you want to listen to the whole podcast, you can find us at Spotify or Apple Podcasts under Moose Bros Sports.